te hiku o tika or the tail of the fish. So therefore, a tupuna also had migrated from those areas under the mountain. One of our tupunas, well known, is Kahungungu. He was born below our mountains at the hiku o tika. Nā ko piri tātu kato mai te hiku o tika ki i karoa. Nā me kōrero au, te wahanga i te tākuta nei nanai. It is true, we do believe that there is healing in the spiritual side. Not having any doctors in the very isolated area where I come from, Te Hapu, about 75 to 90 miles away by horse. So I do have great faith in the spiritual side of life. To give birth is also to give life. And therefore, we had believed that both the spiritual and the physical side of life had to pass on this knowledge of all the medicine this doctor was talking about yesterday. We had heard them too as children. And one of my fears is the only medicine that I was familiar with, although I can't speak too much about it. It's called te kumaraho. It is used mainly for the ailments of coughs and other things that our people had taught us. Just pour a bit of hot water over it. If it's too bitter at first, it does leave a sweet taste in your mouth because it has curative. It is best for you that you forget about the bitter side because it's going to be curing your cold. So I fear that perhaps I should express that my fear is that there had been, from the time that I had realized that there were other issues other than getting up, hearing my father saying prayers, having kai and going to school and all of that. I hadn't realized that years later there will be a total change of life in my village. We will be told that this portion of land will be best used for other purposes, such as the monoculture of planting Pinus radiata, trees around our coast, and of course farming was the first one for schemes, for development schemes. It was quite unreal to expect that trees could replace the natural trees of our country. But they created acts called incorporations. Through this incorporation, they alienated the rights of the tangata whenua. You became a paper shareholder on paper, so it was easier for the incorporation to manipulate your shares into voting whether we should have trees or let the land remain in its natural state. So I found that I was being manipulated by government bodies that haven't even bothered to come up to the tip of the north to see what was really happening up in our area. And all these projects came up. First they take the land for the trees, and then we find we can't even go down and fish and camp overnight because it'll be a fire hazard. And all these laws and notices kept coming up. Don't camp here, no fires, no everything. Even no dogs. So now there is a total change again. This time, the lands that had been in the control of the Crown, I know you're all familiar with this, developed through the Lands and Survey and Maori Affairs, Now it has changed hands to a conservationist ministry. I know there are conservationists here today, but I say that half of the country is perhaps in the control of this new ministry now. It had been all along. And part of the policy of the Crown or the Lands and Survey at that time was to lease out to people that could reap benefit from certain areas of these reserves. Therefore, you see launching pads for helicopters, boats and everything around Te Lake Anu, around our beautiful bushes and natural walkways were set up, but I'm not against that. What I'm fearing is that to have the word conservationist, I'm not so sure whether this body should be the sole controller of the rest of our lands. So I do share very deeply those ancestral areas. So I asked the conservationists, we would like to share with you to look after our land, even if the kumorahau, the tikauka, ngā pingo, we'd like to share that responsibility with you because we cannot get away from it, which is not our colour. I do have blue-eyed mokapunas as well, so we will share what is in the future, and I hope to leave this area feeling much better for expressing a few of my grievances. E tuku tupuna, tēnei te pao moho, tau hikoinga mai, I te hiku o tika. It is a chant like a bird skimming over the ocean of Murimotu, that area I'm talking about, on its way to Te Rerenga Wairua, the leaping place of the ancestors. That's just a brief meaning of this chant I'm going to sing. Merite koe kite manurere tipi one he tipirai te moana muri motu he.
Tēnā koe e te whaia Saana Murray tērā I te tau 1988. In 1988, from the Ethnobotany hui ngā mahi Māori o te wānui a Tāne that featured in He Rerenga Kōrero. She died just a few weeks ago.
Anō nei te mihi ki tōna ke whānau o Ngāti Kuri, te rarawa.